is so dangerous. You see, heresy, Rabotai, kfira, is going to convince you that the heretical teachings are not heretical. They're just something that you're not familiar with. And they'll say, no, what? He's saying that God has parts? Yeah, that's Chassidut. No, that's idolatry. No, that's Chassidut. Well, he's saying that God needs you? Yeah, that's Chassidut. No, that's actually heresy. No, that's Chassidut. So you never learned. You never learned Chassidut, so you don't understand. But once you learn Chassidut, you'll understand. Okay? Well, he's saying there's no punishment. Yeah, exactly. But that's against the 13 principles of faith. No, he's not saying no punishment. He's saying no punishment. See? You see the difference here? He's not saying there's no punishment in the 13 principles of faith. He's saying there's no punishment. Wait, that's the same thing. No. The first one is what you said. The second one, it's Chassidut. What? I'm confused. Exactly. That's because you don't know Chassidut, he's telling you. And heresy is going to sound sweet and nice, and it's ridiculous. But it's convincing people. It's convincing people, Rabotai. Or they're going to tell you, well, this, what's happening now, that the Talmidei Chachamim are going against this heretic. They're obviously not calling the Talmidei Chachamim, they're not calling the heretic. It's unfortunately the opposite. They say, oh, no, this is a long-standing machloket, just like the Rambam and the Ramban, and just like, in the Gemara they have machloket. No, it's no big deal, it's the same thing, even though, the Gaon Vilna he went against. It's all old machloket, no big deal, no big deal. They'll dismiss it, they'll minimize it. They'll do whatever they can to get you to drink the venom. And once a person drinks the venom, the point of return is much, much farther than you can possibly imagine. And the biggest problem that you have today versus the previous generations, Rabotai Karim, is that while we have in our generation more access to books of Torah than any other generation in history, of course, books were not as necessary in a generation of geniuses as we had in Dora De'ah in previous generations, but nonetheless, the free access for books, cheap access to books that have truth in it. You have the Rambam, you have the great Poskim, you have Talmidei Chachamim. Easy access to books. There's no other generation that can compare. But unfortunately, Rabotai, despite the overwhelming amount of knowledge available at your fingertips, this is still the most ignorant generation in history.